Hi guys, this is Sandy Ingram from the Education Matrix channel. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how foreign currency profits enable Americans and Canadians to profit each month while living well on much less. This is where the images that you see on your screen is where I'm spending my lockdown in Acapulco, Mexico. It all starts with receiving income, pensions, Social Security, retirement accounts, income in US dollars, and then living on Mexican pesos or living in any other country and converting to their currency. At the time that this video was created and uploaded, exchange rate was something like 24 pesos to every US dollar. Money from Mexican immigrants in the United States back to families in Mexico is a major source of income for Mexican people. This is based on Mexico's population being right around 130 million people. Families in poverty send at least one or two younger family members to America to work. Each family member sends at least 100 plus a month back to Mexico to help the family. Now, when you realize that there is approximately 1 million plus Mexican citizens working in America, some legal, some not, then you get a real good understanding that Mexican citizens are sending back to Mexico $100 million a month. And this is all not taxed in Mexico because it's been taxed in America. Also, Mexico receives large sums of income from oil revenue, and tourism is the bulk of Mexico's economy. Now, Mexico has the 11th largest economy in the world at a 2.4 trillion. And the Mexican economy is closely tied to the U.S. economy. When your retirement income is around the same monthly income as middle to upper income locals here in Mexico, you can live very well on less. My lifestyle is based on foreign currency exchange. Investors purchase foreign currency and hold as an investment. Foreign currency investment is big business. Why else would the United States be holding 30+ billion Iraqi dinars? Expats around the world do the same thing each month, except we pay our living expenses. And the profit is in the fact that we get a lot more from the US dollar than we would if we retired in the United States. Now, I'm not trying to get you to move offshore or move outside of the United States. I'm sharing how important the gap is when dealing with foreign currency. In fact, the more people who come to Mexico from the United States, the higher the rents go. So I encourage you to stay in the United States. I have personally experienced rent increases in Puerto Vallarta due to its popularity. So what I did is I just moved further south. Speaking of rents, let's take a look at the rental economy in Mexico, or to be exact, in Acapulco, Mexico. Okay, here we are on Airbnb, and what I have done is placed into the search for Acapulco, and I've placed it in for several months. So all of the amounts that you see on the right-hand side of your screen is for an entire place for 1 month. So as you can see, there are any number, and this is during the summer months, any number of accommodations right on the sea or very close to the ocean with views of the ocean for under $700 a month. So the cost of living is very, very inexpensive here. The accommodations is inexpensive. Now, this particular unit here, Ocean Hill, almost all of the units in this building have a view of the sea. Most of the rentals, especially around the ocean and overlooking the bay, have internet access. Now here's a particular unit, entire apartment right on the beach for $572 a month. Now if I was going to book that, I'd book it out for maybe 5-6 months. Make sure that my rate stays the same, or for 1 year. This gives you a very good idea of how much it costs to live here for month to month. Now here is a great accommodation. It's an entire apartment and it's right across from the terminal. And I can tell you it right in front of this building here, there is a major beach. This property is the view is of the Pacific Ocean. Now, there are two major views, the ocean and the Acapulco Bay and the Acapulco skyline. I have a view of the skyline and of the bay, and my rent, the one that I showed you at the beginning of the video, is less than $300 a month. So this gives you an idea of what the accommodations is like. And this is like this all over Mexico, except for in some places, Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, Cabo, the rents are more expensive. The more you stay away from the tourist hotspots, then the cheaper the rent is. Now you have to have a special personality for Acapulco, so I'm really not trying to encourage you to move here. What I'm showing you is that people right here that I know in the last month, because of the pandemic, have earned an excessive amount of profit in the foreign currency, because the pesos went from like 19, 20 to all the way to 24. Now it will go back down, I'm sure, or maybe not. But what happens is when it rises like this, there is profit involved, especially if you're investing on the Forex market. Now, we as expats, we invest for cost of living. We buy a lot of pesos because then in the future we can spend them, and we are spending out our profits for our cost of living each month. What most people don't understand about Acapulco is if you don't do drugs and you mind your own business, you are reasonably safe. Of course, there are certain areas you should not go into. But most people don't understand is people here are happy. Yes, over 200 policemen and their weapons disappeared off the face of the earth. And yes, there has been some serious bloodshed. The locals said then what we should be saying now about this health crisis. And this too shall pass. Before the quarantine and in the future, thousands of people catch buses or drive from Mexico City to Acapulco each weekend. Mexico City's population is around 9 million, so getting away, it has a real serious meaning. Acapulco is to Mexico City what Las Vegas is to America. Yes, Acapulco has gambling casinos, but what's even more interesting here is the beaches. I mean, just miles of beaches, and they are crowded. Before this quarantine thing came up, beaches are crowded every single day of the week. The land around the bay forms a 180-degree circle. And after the first several streets, the land starts to slope upwards, until it becomes steep. At least 45% of all people living in Acapulco live on a hill with a view. Another 40% live within 2 blocks or 3 blocks of the beach. The main street runs parallel to the sea and the beaches. The other 15% live in areas I have not yet visited or seen. When you shop where the locals shop, everything is really, really, really cheap. I buy my food at Walmart, so my food cost is higher than most of the locals, but everything else I buy on the local economy. The bus is around 10 to 11 pesos. You can go all the way across town on 11 pesos, 10 pesos. There is no such thing as a transfer. You can catch sophisticated buses with AC, or you can catch disco buses with open windows and loud dancing music. They have Walmart, Starbucks, McDonald's, Domino's Pizza, Home Depot, and among other American stores. For Americans and Canadians and Europeans that I have met who now stay in Acapulco, it's all about the foreign currency exchange. So when I share videos about foreign currency investment in other countries, I understand the importance. We're not Forex traders. We are foreign currency investors. And in case you didn't realize it, you became a foreign currency investor the day you purchased Iraqi dinars. You know the drill.